Good morning, children. Now, today we come to the next subtopic in the lesson. This is the last subtopic, that is nervous tissue. Now, we all know that every organ system is made up of organs. Like, for example, if you look at the nervous system is made up of organs. Now, the organs that make up the nervous system are the brain and the spinal cord. Besides the brain and the spinal cord, there are different nerves arising from the brain. Those are called cranial nerves. And there are different nerves arising from the spinal cord, the spinal nerves. So all these, the brain, the spinal cord, and all those nerves together form the nervous system. So every organ system is made up of organs. And these organs in turn are made up of tissues. So the tissues that make up the brain and the spinal cord are nothing but the nervous tissues. And we know that a tissue is a group or a collection of cells. So many cells together make up a tissue. Now the cells which make up a tissue are called nerve cells, or we just call them neurons. Now in today's lesson, we are going to study about the structure of a nerve cell or the structure of a neuron. Now, a nerve cell or a neuron looks like this. So, the brain and the spinal cord are made up of many such cells. Each cell, this whole thing, is called a neuron. Now, a neuron has a main cell body. This main cell body is called the cyton. Okay? Now, the cyton, like every cell, has a nucleus. Just as every cell, this is called cyton. So just as every cell has a nucleus, the main cell body cyton also has nucleus. It has smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum. There are other organelles like the Golgi apparatus, the mitochondria. Okay, so the nerve cell has a main cell body which is called the cyton. Now from this main cell body or cyton arise these branch processes. These branch processes are called dendrites. These branch processes are called dendrites. Okay? Now, these dendrites basically receive messages from other neurons. So they carry messages like this towards the main cell body. Okay, so they carry messages from the other neuron towards the main cell body. Is that clear? So dendrites are branch processes that receive messages from other neurons. Now these messages, okay, or these neurons rather transmit these signals or messages in the form of what we call as nerve impulses. Is that clear? Now, besides these dendrites, there is a single long process that you see here. This single long process is called the exon. Now, the exon is long, slender, and it conducts electric impulses away from the cell body. So, in this direction. See this arrow here pointing downwards, so it's in this direction. So, the messages will come from the other neurons towards the main cell body like this through the dendrites, and then from here it will go away from the main cell body through the exon. So the exon is a long slender projection and it conducts electric impulses away from the main cell body. And then finally you have the nerve endings here. Now how these messages are carried from one cell to the other you will learn next year. So there is one junction which is called the synapse. All these terms you will learn next year in standard 10. So just remember that the nervous tissue controls movements. The nervous system controls movements of the body. It carries signals to and from different parts of the body. So it's like the main controlling center. So every organ in the body will carry out its own function. But that coordination between all the organs is controlled by the nervous system. And remember the neurons, these nerve cells, they transmit signals called nerve impulses. And these nerve impulses are transmitted from one neuron to the other neuron. So the neuron or the nerve cell has a main cell body, which is called the cyton. The cyton has different organelles, nucleus, smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus. Then from the main cell body are these branch processes. These branch processes are called dendrites. They carry electric signals towards the cyton, towards the main cell body. Then you have a long single slender process which is called the exon. This exon is covered with a fatty layer. So this exon carries electric impulses away from the main cell body. And then finally you have here the nerve endings. So all these parts help to receive chemical and electric signals, and they facilitate communication between the brain and different parts of the body. So with this we finish with the topic tissues.